Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
What you call permission role, which we are discussing. We can say that permission roles are configured either on the basis of the role or on the basis of the module specific or on the basis of the country specific. Right. Got it. In the permission roles, when you go into the admin center and from the admin center, as we have seen how to give the access. Initially, with the help of manage role-based permission access, you are adding a user. Once you have added the user, that user can have these configuration tools. All the configuration tools in the admin center. From the admin center, when he will click on the permission role, it will take him into this page. And once it is taken into this page, you can see there are already certain permission roles which is already defined. That only I was just trying to elaborate. What are the type of permission roles you can able to see? Permission roles can be on the basis of role specific also. Can be on the basis of module specific also. Can be on the basis of the country specific also. It can be defined as a support consultant. If you are entering into the client system, you can see various permission roles. If you are implementation consultant, you will be gathering the requirement and that requirement will be captured in the workbook and then you will be doing the config, setting up the configuration. Is it clear? I'm pausing for the while. Any reflections? No? Now going back into my Excel. I have not taken you into the system, but before taking into the system, when you go into the manage permission role, you can see various permission roles are there. Now, when you go and click on any permission role here, then it will take you into the permission setting. When you click on any permission role, it will take you to the permission setting. And in the permission setting, we have a tab called Permissions. We have a tab called Permissions. This tab, which is there under the permission setting, when you click on this tab, it will take us to a page where that page you can able to see it has user permission and administrative permission. I will take you into the system. Let's take, I'm taking something as a system admin or a super admin. Let me take, I'm taking as a system admin. As a permission role, if I'm clicking on the system admin, it will take you into a page. Under the permission roles detail. And that is divided into three parts: name and description. You have a permission setting and it's still in the process right now. You can see permission role details, name and description, permission setting. And then the third one is, you can see when you're setting up There and this role. Permission role is divided into 3 parts. Under this you can see one is name and description when you're going there. Then you have a permission setting, and then the third one is granting this role. Granting this role. These are the 3 sections under permission role. This is something which is already being configured. When you open a permission role, when you go into the permission setting which I told you, under the permission setting, you have permission tab. When you go under the permission setting, you have a permission tab. When you click on here, it will take you into a pop-up window where it is divided into 2 parts, user permission and admin administrative permission. Same thing. I am showing you user permission and administrative permission. Under user permission, administrative permission, we have certain certain categories are there. And these categories are divided on the basis of module specific. There are various categories: calibration, time management, performance management, goal management, compensation, onboarding. A lot of categories are there. These categories we can able to find under user permission and administrative permission. What is the difference between user permission, administrative permission? User permission is generally used to setting up the permission for the employees and for the managers. Administrative, it is more with the managers as well as with the admins. In both the sections, you will be finding the equal categories, that is user permission and the administrative permission. User permission, administrative permission. Both categories will be there. All the categories will be there. Module specific. Among those categories, there are some standard categories which we need to understand. We will be focusing on those standard categories. What are those standard categories? Those standard categories are divided into 3 parts: employee data, effective weighted entities, and employee view. These are some standard categories. What is the benefit? What is the use of this category? These categories will help us to control the permissions to the permissions in the employee profile. When you want to control the permissions to the employee data in the employee profile, we will be using these categories: employee data, effective data, and employee view. Any questions here? Is it clear? Yes, these are the standard categories. What is the meaning of a standard category? Standard, all other standard categories. But among that, the important categories which is mainly used to control the permissions which is related to the employee data. That is the employee data, effective data, and employee category. Now coming into this category. Before going into this category, we need to understand the behavior of the portlet. I think you know about the portlet. We have discussed about the portlet also. Had we heard the name portlet, section, subsection portlet in the employee profile. Right, when you go into an employee profile, and let me take you into the employee profile by duplicating the screen. When I take you into the employee profile, how the designing of the employee profile. Employee profile is also known as a people profile. Sometimes these terms are commonly used employee profile or the people profile. When you go into the employee profile, you can see this content which you are seeing. These are the sections. Personal employment compensation, payroll time benefit, talent profile, mainly up to here. This is the standard one. And every section will be having, you can see subsections. And every subsection will be connected with a portlet that you can see in the right side. And every portlet will be having some fields. Fields can be the standard, one can be the customer. Those fields is connected with a portlet. A portlet is connected with the subsection. Subsection is connected with a section. Now to understand further, there are certain behaviors of the portlet. Some portlet is divided into effective rated portlet. Some portlet is divided into non-effective rated portlet. What is an effective rated portlet and what is a non-effective rated portlet? When you say that, what are the portlets which are effective rated portlet? Effective rated portlets are the portlets which can maintain the historical data, which can maintain the history of the record. Those portlets are called effective rated portlets. Now when you go in this personal information, you can see in the personal information, you can see the icon. You have edit icon also and you have a history icon also. When you click on this history icon, you can see time to time whatever the changes which has been made in the personal info. That will be updated here. In this particular as a history. Maintaining the history in this particular portlet. It specifies that this portlet is an effective dated portlet. When you go and see, this is personal info. Again, if I go and take you something into address information, you can see address information. Also, you have the pencil icon and the clock icon. It means what time to time, whatever the changes which you are making in these changes of the employee record, you are making that particular portlet that will be maintained as a history. In that particular portlet, because that is the behavior of that portlet, that it is an effective rated portlet. But when you come into a non-effective rated portlet, it will not maintain the history. When I will go into the contact information, you can see there is no history icon. If I click on here and if I choose a date and if I want to update it, you can see here if I am just writing something here. It is just overwriting. Right. It is just overwritten. Similarly, when you go here in a biographic information, when you go into a biographic information, you can see it will just overwrite it. The portlets, when you go and see, certain portlets are there. Under every subsection, when you see, certain portlets are there. Under the compensation, also the portlet's behavior is divided into two parts. One is effective rated and one is a non-effective rated. Effective rated portlet will maintain the history of the records time to time, which is being changed in the employee profile. Non-effective rated portlets will not maintain the history of the record, whatever changes you are maintaining. It will overwrite the previous record and it will get updated with the new record value. That is the non-effective rated portlet. When you come back into our Excel, when I told that it is a non-effective rated and effective rated portlet. Coming into the categories which I told, that is employee data, effective rated and employee view. Whichever the category, whichever the portlets which are non-effective rated portlets. That is coming under the employee data category. What is the employee data? Says it can manage to access to the non-effective rated portlets. We can grant the view and edit right. In the employee data, we can only maintain the view, access and the edit. For all the non-effective rated portlet fields. If you come to the Employee Central EC, effective dated portlet, it manages to access to effective dated fields and other actions. We can give grant to the view history, edit, insert, correct and delete permissions. All these things can be controlled from the effective rated. Finally, these are the categories, which is helping the portlet, which will help to control the permissions of the portlet. Got. If I want to show you into the system, when I go into the personal info, and you can see this is effective rated. This has a history record when you go here. You can see your edit option, delete option, and you have insert record, new record option. All these things, how it is coming. It is coming from the effective rated portlet. Non-effective rated portlet only will be having the view and edit right. If I want to show you into the system, in the here, when I click on permissions here, when you go to the user permission, you can see lot of categories will be there. Time management, calibration, goal performance. All these categories will be there. Among that the important category for controlling the permissions to the employee related fields are. One is Employee Central Effective Rated Entities. That is for maintaining the effective rated portlet. And then you have employee data. And third one is the employee view. Third one is the employee view. When I want to show you the non-effective rated portlet in employee data, when you go to the employee data, you can see here. It is only having the view permission or the edit permission. Even the employee data for this permission role, whatever is the permission role, I have taken as a system admin. For this system admin, if I take some permission, if I'm giving a permission to the view or to the edit, I can able to maintain for non-effective dated perm employee data. If it is an effective rated portlet, then I will do it from Employee Central Effective Rated Entities. When I go into Employee Central Affected Entities, you can see view current view history, edit, insert, correct, delete. All this when you're giving a permission. That tab or that button will be start reflecting that particular permission role for that particular user. That can be controlled from the EC effectivity. Now you can see. When you go here for the personal information, all the fields will be showing here. In case if you are creating any custom field also under this portlet. And if the field is not reflecting in the home page in the employee profile. What is the reason? Because we have not given the permission or the permission will not be granted. That is the reason that particular fields are not reflecting in the UI. This is the difference between Employee Central Effective Dated. That is for maintaining the history and everything and employee data. That is only used to maintain the view permission and the edit permission. Any questions here? But coming to here into the setting up any permission roles to the effective, rated and non-effective. See effective rated, non-effective rated portlet. These are some functional terms. When we interact with the customer and customer gives some requirements, it changed request or something, they will never specify that it is effective or it is non-effective. They will specify for this particular section, like for personal information or contact information or address information. They want to have some custom fields. And they will say that this field, whenever, time to time, we also need that we should have a history of this field to be maintained in that portlet. We should be clear that that portlet, whichever the customer is referring, that has a behavior of maintaining the history or not. First of all, second thing, when you're creating a custom field on a non-effective rated portlet, and there you only have the permission of a view and edit. Now, when you want to give some further permissions that is not controlled from the RVP. For that, in the future classes, I will also take you to a concept called business rule, where some permissions, when we are not able to control from the RVP, it can be controlled for the help of a business rule. Here, when we go and see for the employee data and EC effective rated, we can see the comparison that EC effective rated, where you can maintain the history of the records, time to time and employee data. We cannot able to maintain the history. Either you can give a view permission, you can give a edit permission. It will just overwrite it. The third one is the employee view. This is also clear. The third one is the employee view. Coming to the employee view, it enables the view access to the people profile or to the employee profile. It will only give you the view access. View access means what? When you go back into the system. And when you go back into the employee profile. And in the employee profile, I told you these sections. If you want to control these sections, you only can control with the help of a view permission. How you can control this access for ESS, for MSS, for child attribute. For employee, you want, whenever the employee open his profile, you want the employee should only get the personal information, employment information, and the compensation, but other tabs, it should not be reflecting in the profile. That can be controlled with the help of the permission category called employee view. In employee view, what it says? It enables the view access to the people profile or to the employee profile in the employee file. Here you can have a view permission only in the system. How you can able to go and see it? When you go back here and when you go here into the employee view, you can see only view permissions are there. You can enable the view or you can able to disable it for that particular permission. Is it clear for the employee view also? Why stressed more into this easy? Effective data, employee data and the employee view. Because mostly the permissions in the requirements comes which is related to the related employee profile. Everything revolves around these categories when you are working in the RPP. As a support consultant, if you are an implementation consultant also, you will be setting up all the requirements which is related to these categories. And definitely to the other categories like related to the calibration time, performance management, goal management. That also will be there. Again coming back into my Excel. Further going down, Here when you have seen these categories. Now when I want to set up a permission role. How I will go and set up a permission role by creating a name and description for the permission role. Clicking on the permission setting. Clicking on the permissions under the user permission depends upon what are the permissions you want to give to this permission role. You can see lot of categories are there. When you want to do the testing for yourself, I would prefer that go and use the standard categories. That is easy, effective data and employee data. When you go here into the easy effective data, you can see view current edit history. All these permissions are there. When you are setting up a permission for you while doing the testing, you only initially go and give the permission as a view current. Don't give the permission for the edit and history and the correct. Only give the permission to the view current. When you are giving a permission to the view current, what will happen when you open an employee profile? These options should not be there. And it should not be editable. It should be in the view mode. Only you have a view permission. That is what. Secondly, after setting up, similarly the same thing. You need to do it when you go and selecting for the employee data. When you go and select for the employee data here, also don't select this one. What you call edit option, only give the view option. And just try to save it. After saving it, when you click on done, the same thing will be reflecting here. Can you see here below? It will be whatever the permissions which you are selecting, that permissions will be start populating here. For each categories you can see. This is a super admin. That is the reason all categories will be showing. When you are selecting initially for testing, you only give the view permission. You can see after giving the view permission, you scroll down for the third section. What is the third section here? Grant this role to. When you go here, grant this role to. This is the third section. Grant this role to specifies the granted population and the target population. Now when I click on the edit granting here. The other click add. I'm clicking on because it is already being created. Once you go into the click on add or existing one, it will take you into this page where you can say define whom you want to grant this role to. That we have specified as a granted population, right? This we have specified as a granted population. You see here. Right? This one, first one. Whom do you want to grant this role? That specifies the granted population. When you want to grant this role to a group or to a particular role, either you can specify to a permission group or to the standard role. These are the standard roles. Manager, matrix manager, HR manager, all these are the standard roles. Here you can see they are specified as a permission group. Who all are the permission group? EC admin, payroll admin and the super admin. These are the permission groups. When you click on here, you can search it. You can see it is already selected here. And those permission groups are already been selected here. These permission groups may be having some members. Those members, what you are doing. You are giving the permission. grant to this one. That is the system admin. System admin role to whom you are granting to the EC admin, payroll admin and the super admin. That is the reason we have selected as a permission group here. Now that is something as a granted population. Now who is the target population here? Specify the target population whom the above granted user has been permission to access. Target population will be whom either. It will be to everyone. Everyone means it is not specific to a particular region or location. Whoever are the members in this particular group, EC admin, payroll admin, super admin, they are the granted populations. Means they are the users who will be accessing and doing certain activities. And these granted population, whoever users are there in this group, they have the permission which has been given to them. And they can able to either access to every employee, all employee of the organization, or you can able to specify the target employee. Target employee. When you select your target user, you can see it will be folder. Either you can specify for a particular department, division or location. That can be possible. For example, this payroll admin, it is dedicatedly for a location that is suppose something for Germany location or something for France location. Whoever employees are working in that region, their payroll related activity, they can able to access those employees profile. If you are specifying something to a target population or something on the basis of department, division, location, then you can. If you are selecting something as a everyone means irrespective of any location or any department, these users from this group who has been nominated for even the permission role can able to access for all employees. The second section, it is called as a target population. First section, it is called as a granted population. Third section, we don't have any important, we are not doing anything. And then we click on done. You can see that particular group will be linked with that permission. You can see these are the permission groups. Permission groups can be on a basis of a single user, also can be basis of a multiple users. And you can see each permission role. Now, when you go here, what is the name of this permission role? System admin. When you are defining system admin permission, each permission role will be linked with multiple. You can see it will be linked with multiple permission groups. There is no vertical, there is no restriction from SAP that one permission role can be linked to one permission. Many permission groups. And one permission group can be linked with many permission roles. This is something like an implementation team used to do once gather the requirements. The process is something like that. You have to initially create a permission group. Then only you will come and create a permission role. For the training purpose, I have shown you in a reverse way. I have shown you because I want to show you the categories. That is the reason I have shown you how the permission role is there. While going into the manage permission role, you will be finding all the roles. In that super admin and system admin also will be a role. And when you click on the permission tab, you can find these two sections are there. Just user permission, admin permission with various categories. And each among the category we have importantly is ET effective data and employee data and employee view, where you can control the permission for the effective data and non-effective data. For the testing purpose, whenever you are going for testing in the permission role, when you are creating a role, only give the view permissions. After giving the view permission, when you click on done, that will be reflecting here. And when you scroll down, you have to click on, you have to create a grant this role. Grant this role means you have to click on add. When you click on add here, you can see here a new option will come. If you already created a group, you can select the group name by going and clicking on here. And you can see whatever the groups are there. You can able to search that group from here also. When you click on here, that group will be added here. And each group definitely will be having some members. You have one more option here. Allow the managers to have the same permission. Allow the manager means what? The users who are in this group, their manager should also have the same permission access what this user is having. If that is the case, you have to click on here and you have options here. 1 level up, second 1 level up, like that. 2 level up. This is something like manager when you're selecting the levels. If that is also a scenario which is coming from the customer side, then you can choose this option. Otherwise, to make it simple, select the permission group, or if it is related to only for the manager, you can select the manager. Because here manager is not defined on the basis of HR manager, finance manager or compensation manager. Manager is a manager in an organization. Any manager, when you are giving a permission, means that manager will be having that. Whatever permissions which are created, that is linked to the manager, or else you are creating a permission group. Now and after that, selecting the target population. This is granted population. This is the target population. Everyone means what if your customer has business in 4 countries and this is an HR admin who is sitting in the puppet office. This person will be having the access to all 4 countries. Users means you will select the target population as an everyone. But if you are selecting something for the target population specific to a location, department or division, then you have an option here. When you can able to go and select the target population and you can select from the list here. What it means, whoever the members are in this group, they are only responsible to access the employees who are from this particular categories. That is a difference between everyone and the target population. These two things. Once it is being done, once you click on here, it will be reflecting here, and then you can able to click on the save changes. In this way, you are setting up the permission group. Any questions here? We have seen how to set up a permission group. Mainly now, we will go and see how to set up a permission group. Either you can go from the admin center or else you can go from here, manage permission group. You can see manage permission group, and if you click on here, again in the manage permission group, you can see the page ID group name, user type static dynamic. All the things will be showing here. If you want to go and create a permission group is divided. Creation of permission group is divided into 2 parts. One is static and one is dynamic. Static is something if you are going and creating something by importing CSV file. Setting up a permission with the help of a CSV file, that is import static group. That is something like a static. Dynamic is something you are creating it manually. Manually means here you are clicking on create new and here you will be going and adding the member. When you click on the create new option here, you will find two tabs are there. One is definition. One is granted. When you go into the definition, under that you have a group name and you have an employee and you have a people. In the people pool, you can see certain categories are there. When you want go and create a group here, you will be creating a name of the group and you will be selecting the category to have a more clarity on it. Let's again take here as a system admin. Let me search here. Here you have a super admin. When you click on the super admin, you can see the group name is there people poll. You have certain categories, username, user location. With the help of these categories, you are filtering that employee and you are adding that employee into this particular group. Now you can see here how many categories, how many employees are there. These employees have been taken on the basis of the category, that is username. When you will select, you can able to take either on the username or on the basis of the user. All these options are available here. That is under the people pool. Again, you have another screen, another section that is known as exclude these people from the group. Excluding these people from the group means already you created some member and among that member, if you want to exclude some member who is basically from that location or a particular job role or something. If that is the case, then you will use the second section and in percent, we will be more focusing on the first section. That is this one to the group. Member from the people pool. Whatever members you are choosing, you can see here. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.